everyone remember your glass of water while we're waiting.
Exactly. Very good. I believe it's working because it didn't give me any trouble. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Anyway, I'm so excited. 2018. Tonight is our first class, and we have our old friends Solange, Gisela, Teresa. Now we have two Jackies, Jacqueline and Jackie. Very, very good to see you guys. Welcome. So our group is very simple. We meet bi-weekly and we study this beautiful book. It's called Thought and Life by the Spirit Emmanuel. And the medium is Chico Xavier. And so it's chapters. It's small chapters, 2.5 pages, but very intense. Like what is written there is deep. So it's good for us to read and reflect together to understand a little bit better. So we try to do this in 30 minutes, and then we go to this other book. This is the Gospel According to Spiritism. And we also study it for 30 minutes. It's like the New Testament, but it's according to Spiritism. So the points of view are a little bit different. They involve spirituality in general, and helps us to understand a little bit deeper the message from Jesus. Like certain things that if you just read the Bible, it's a little bit confused, especially the parables. And in the Gospel according to Spiritism, it goes also deeper and is easier for us to understand. So, as always, don't forget, like as Teresa said, our water, because in Spiritism we believe that because water is a liquid, is a fluid, and it vibrates with energy, we can put positive vibration in our water, and it actually becomes a medicine, that a natural medicine that helps all of us. So to start positively our wonderful 2018, I invite you guys just to relax a little bit when I'm going to do a quick prayer to connect us with the enlightened spirits. Dear God, our guardian angels, our dear brother Jesus, thank you so much for bringing us together again in this beginning of 2018, helping us as a group to study and to progress, understanding these beautiful messages of the books, helping us to apply on our daily basis. Thank you so much for bringing our friends together and help us to help each other, especially with our actions, becoming better people on a daily basis. Thank you so much. So be it.
So be it.
So let me just say hello to everybody. I'm always bad at this part, so let me see if I can see the names. Yes, so Gisela, hey girl, nice to see you again. Happy New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to all of you. I started super sick, but I'm recovering. I'm recovering. And we have Jacqueline, my friend from Miami. Yeah, so we have Jackie. Jackie, where do you live? What is your city?
I live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Ohio. Very good. We're expanding. We're expanding our horizons.
Yeah.
And then we have Solange, our dear Solange. Always here. Hello, Solange. What's the name of your city? Your city, what's the name of it?
Oh, here is Connecticut.
Well, yes, you're in Connecticut. Who else is here? Oh, Kathy was here, but I think she dropped. So I'm gonna share with you guys the first book we are gonna read, and then we are gonna read, and then we comment. So it's better for all of us. So please let me know if you can see the my computer.
Yes.
Can you see? Okay, very good. So we are gonna start reading the Thought in Life and the chapter 9, suggestion. So let's go. I'm still cold. I have a cold. I'm getting better. So I might ask some help with my my reading tasks, which Giselle is good. So suggestion number 9. People usually refer to the phenomena of mental suggestion as if it belonged solely to special clinics where hypnotists and their subjects go about performing quasi-miraculous acts. Grasset, the eminent neurologist of Montpellier School, went so far as to classify suggestion into 2 categories: the hypnotic state that takes place during induced sleep, and the post-hypnotic state that acts after the subject's awakening. However, suggestion is actually an everyday event in the life of human beings and is permanent activity of mental reflection. Magic, however, has been more delightfully used to control occult forces.
Diligently.
Diligently used to control occult forces. It is mainly the instrument of religious ceremonies on earth and consists of a combination of powerful mental forces of incarnate and discarnate beings who achieve the kind of feats that impresses ordinary minds. Like electricity or explosives, steam or atomic energy, it is only and simply mental forces, neither good nor evil, whose, let me turn the page, whose effects will depend upon the use people make of it. We can see it work on the altar of prayer and on the sacred symbols of religious services, spreading the seeds of virtue and progress into the hearts of people. But we can also see it in depressing situations, using barbaric rites and thereby attracting low psychic energy, leading to licentiousness and rebellion. Our emotions, as well as our thoughts and actions, are dynamic elements of an inductive nature. All of us are externalizing mental energy in subtle forms that act upon our fellow men, and we are all affected by these same forms coming from the minds of others. Each attitude we take in life polarizes forces in people who have a rapport with us. They feel impelled to imitate us, whether consciously or unconsciously. The reason is that the principle of repercussion rules our activities in life. The school is the home of initiation for souls who are beginning the task of intellectual polishing. It is simultaneously a center of conditioned reflexes for millions of spirits who reincarnate in order to take up again what they had acquired before in an area of intellect. The various instructors who guide us in class and from the pulpit through books and press help us stand face to face again with our psychic reality in the world. Our condition is determined by the emotional and cultural acquisitions from the past. Our present training will offer further education for our will and the right preparation for the greater life. Today, we are the heirs of the mental reflexes of our past experiences, with the means to change our direction toward true happiness. By helping someone else, we are emanating suggestions of help to us. By humbly enduring the difficulties of our regenerating path, we instill patience and solidarity through everyone around us.
Wow.
If we help, we will be helped. If we hinder, we will be hindered. Through spontaneous suggestions, we are planting the reflexes of our individuality and collecting its reflexes in the individualities of others. This takes place as naturally as sowing seeds of wheat, carrots, or potatoes in the world. Thus, we are responsible for our relationships with positive forces or with the forces of disorder and evil.
Wow.
It's a lot. So it's really tough for us sometimes to digest everything that we just read. So let me see here. So let's go back. So if you don't have the book, just go to the Facebook page. I posted a few minutes ago. So you can go to Miami InnerLight Spiritist Studies, and the book is there. Suggestion. So a lot of information, and for people that are not spiritists, it can be more difficult, more confusing. So please, anything you guys want to ask, let's try to answer as a group, because we all know a lot. I'm not here like I know most, but I'm here like a coordinator, trying to put the pieces together. So, suggestion. So it starts in a very interesting way, you know. We like he started here. People usually refer to the phenomenon of mental suggestion as if it belongs solely to the special clinics where hypnotists and their subjects go about performing quasi-miraculous acts. Like when they have the little thing and they say, Angie, right now you are going to fall asleep. So we think suggestion is just that. It's like, good, this is suggestion. But suggestion is actually everything. It's everything. When we say something, we are suggesting something. And many times our thoughts are already emanations of this suggestion. Even if we don't say, we are already emanating the energy, the vibration of our suggestions. So that's why it's good to always vibrate good. But we know we are not 100% good.
Yeah.
We are far from this,
But we are learning.
yes, and we have the days we are so good. You know, we have days that we are like, oh, today I woke up so happy. I'm going to be suggesting love to everybody. I'm going to be saying positive things for everybody. And sometimes we are able to do it. Sometimes we really are able to do, especially when we are fully connected with some kind of a cause that we love. When we are doing some charitable cause, whatever, if it's helping animals, children, elderly, if it's doing the loving bags for homeless, whatever you're doing. So in that moment, you're really, truly connected with superior spirits, with spirits that only vibrate love, and they are connected with us because they lower their vibration, we higher ours, and we are in the same vibratory level, united. The problem with us is that we are all like, yeah. And then something happens, boom, we immediately, we go down.
Again.
And we disconnect. And then, like, we are feeling so good and wonderful, and suddenly you're driving. Suddenly somebody cuts you, and you're like, yeah, and you become your inner monster. That's the problem. That's our nature. And that's why we have the blessing of a reincarnation, because every time our physical body dies, everything we acquired, everything we learned remain with us. So when we come back again as a baby, we have all that knowledge and all that moral development within us. You know, the doctors say, oh, that this is, how do they say? This is in your inner mind, is in your subconscious. But we that believe in reincarnation, we know that we lived so many lives, and every one we are progressing, we are getting better. Yeah. So I really love to talk about the little kids that are called genius. Yes, if a 3-year-old start playing Mozart from nowhere, we are like, wow, it's unbelievable. Yes, it is unbelievable. But for us that we study Spiritism, we understand that mini genius, he was a pianist in a previous life, and he just remembered really quickly. It's not that we are all pianists. No, we are all different. We are all different. And it's called the gifts. So certain people, they have gifts. We all have. Sometimes we don't know what is the gift. Which gift do I have? No, I have no gift. No, we do have. We just don't know what. Like, I know my gift is for languages. I can learn languages really quickly, and especially Italian, because I lived many lives in those countries, in Italy and Spain and others. And so it came back for me super quickly. So I just read, and immediately I started thinking this was my previous life. So we have this. So when he is mentioning that the suggestion is much more than the hypnotist, because suggestion is vibrational energy within us all the time. So would be, in a perfect world, would it be wonderful that we are vibrating love all the time. But as I mentioned, we are, and suddenly, boom. But the important thing is, like, when we collapse, let me calm down and get a little bit better. So I start vibrating more positive, and I start emanating more love, because that's what we want. And then you guys are going to say, oh, but that's impossible. No, nothing is impossible. It can be harder, but nothing is impossible. It is possible. It's just that it requires a little bit more exercise. It's
I have a question.
Sure. If I know.
I'm not understanding on the second page where it's these, I think the third Yeah, the second sentence.
That concerns our
In depressing
emotions?
No, we can, but we can also see it in depressing situations using barbaric rites and thereby attracting low psychic energies leading to licentiousness and rebellion.
Yes.
What do they mean by we can also see it in depressing situations using barbaric rites?
Yes, the thing is like when we are emanating love, when we are praying, when we are meditating, we are vibrating positive energies. So we are attracting positive things, positive people, incarnated and discarnated. We are attracting positive situations. So we are attracting good things. That's also when people say, "Oh, when it rains, it pours." Have you know, this is an American expression, meaning sometimes when things are bad, everything happens. Oh my God, look at this adorable cat. Oh, so cute. Welcome to our group.
They are listening to you, my God.
Yes. So coming back, when the rain it pours, because when something bad happens, that moment we get, sometimes we get desperate. We get so stressed that we're like, oh my God, this is the end. This is terrible. What I'm going to do? Or if something that it's very makes you very angry, you're like, I can't believe this person did to me. This is a betrayal. And immediately your mind is not vibrating love. You are hurt. You are in pain. You are angry. And what happens? What do you attract? You attract energies
More
that are similar to what you are vibrating, what you are emanating. In that moment, you are emanating things that are not good. So
And is
when
it that fast though? Is it that like immediate? Like
yes,
you that you immediate and it's like immediate. It just switches.
immediately. It's like a light switch, you know, you are in total darkness and you turn on. And
And then
when you are in light and you turn off. And
Okay,
the people sometimes, you know, yes, there is a disease called bipolar, but there is also the spiritual side that makes you feel like that. And I'm not saying bipolar is not a disease. No, it exists. There are chemical imbalances inside of us. Some people have this in a very deep level. But all of us, we are subject to that. Some people more than others. That's why sometimes you're like, I had such a great day, and then I had a phone call that destroyed my day, and I'm feeling so angry. And suddenly you're like, and I'm feeling depressed. My life is miserable. I can't believe, oh God. Yes, it happens.
Can you do the reverse at the same
Yes.
time? Let's say that you immediately, okay, that changes, and immediately you say, okay, I don't want to go this way.
Yes.
Then what? In that moment, what? You just pray, or you just try to.
It can be done. What happens is for us to do the contrary switch from the darkness to the light, it's much more difficult because we are more used to the lower vibration. It's our normal environment, you know, is that where we are living on the planet Earth, where heavy energies are with us. So it requires a heavier exercise. You know, if you are doing a gym, you need to put in a level 10 instead of level 3. You know, like going up, it's much harder than going down. If you're going down the stairs, oh, that's good. If you're going up, it's like, oh, that's tough. And it works with positive and negative vibrations. So when he talks, sorry?
What do they mean by barbaric rites?
Yeah, what he is explaining here is like when you are praying, when you are doing meditation, when you are doing something positive, is a rite. You know, it's like you go to a mass. It's kind of a rite, if I can say that. Barbaric rites were also like when the people got together to do horrible things. You know, in the past, People went to the squares to see people being decapitated. And they thought it was nice, was normal, was like a attraction. When we think about this is insane, but it happened. So for us, barbaric rites, if this happened nowadays, for us, it would be by barbaric rites. But if you go back in even more in the past, we were all barbaric in different levels, and rites were like for example, the Mayas and the Incas, they had their rituals or sacrifice that they believed it was good for the gods. They believed in many gods, and they believed that was a rite that was going to make the gods happy. But it was a barbaric rite. So a barbaric rite, something that's really tough, attracts negative energies, negative spirits. So when he said here, but we can also see it in depressing situations using barbaric rites, and thereby attracting low psychic energies, leading to a licentious and rebellion. Like when we get in this depression or angry mood or whatever, we go low, we feel angry, and sometimes we can even talk to people. We don't even need to be just the spirits around. We talk to somebody else that maybe has the same type of energy, and that person, instead of helping us, say, oh, come on, Gisela, I know it's terrible, but unfortunately, maybe it's not, there was a mistake, or maybe this person had a bad day, or whatever situation. Some people, we say things like this, and they're like, you know, that woman is mean. She's evil. You should do something. Next time she do it, do whatever. So attracts more negative energy. And in that moment that we are angry, we connect and we think, you know, I am right to be angry. That person deserves something bad. So this is the danger of connections, of emanations, of attractions. That's why we have to be careful when we are trying to help a friend, because sometimes a person comes to you and tells you a problem, and it was really bad, yes, but we should always try to show something good from that. And I know you guys are thinking, well, but sometimes it's impossible to see something good. Yes, it can be harder, but you can always say, well, yes, but it could be worse. And, you know, it could be something worse for you and for her. And you can always try to say something positive to help a friend. Say, you know, let's not think about this right now. That person is not doing good. That person must be sick. The best thing would be really to calm down, to pray. If we could see the energy that come out of our whole body when we connect for 1 second to say a prayer, we will all be praying all the time, because it is beautiful. It's like a light coming out and going up. It's like we are being surrounded by that light, even if it's for just a few seconds. Hey, welcome, Wellington, another participant. Very good.
Hi.
Join us.
How's the cold?
He's listening.
So we don't see it, so we don't realize how powerful it is. But if we could, that would be the best thing to really break this negative energies, to cut it. And as you said, can we change to the good? Yes, we can. Because when we start thinking, sometimes we even start dramatizing problems. We start like having imagination of things that person thought or have done before. And sometimes it's not even that, but because of this negative energy around us, we start like creating things that are bigger than whatever happened. So for us, it's really important to say, I don't want to think about that right now. I want to digest the problem. So right now, I really want to pray. And then we just pray. God, help me to be calmer. Help me not to think about that. Help me to cut this negative energy. And then you get inspiration. And then you have an imagination. And then somebody said, turn the channel 75. And then you're like, let me turn the channel 75. And then it's a comedy. And when you see, you start laughing. And you cut that, even if for some time. But when we get bad, we don't pray, we don't vibrate well, and we don't get the inspirations. And if we continue not doing well, yes, it can bring us to worse things, can bring us even to depression. And we don't want that. So our thoughts are very, very important. And last time we read association. So association is this connection that we end up making with incarnated and discarnated. And association happens also with suggestion. Like if you are a positive person, you're vibrating good, you will suggest love and you will receive it. So that vibrations will attract people that have the same ideas that you have. And this is awesome when we are doing something good. So it's awesome. It's good to be good. It's hard to be good, but it's good to be good.
Yeah.
So let's see if we did something. If you want to ask anything, please ask anything. It's 9:37. We should switch books. So let me see if there is anything very important that I didn't mention.
The last paragraph of the page 40.
The today?
Yes.
Yeah, this part here mentions about reincarnation. Today we are hairs or hairs?
Heirs.
Hairs.
The H is silent. Heirs.
Heirs. Heirs. Not hairs. Heirs.
Heirs.
Oh, my wonderful English. Heirs of our mental reflexes of our past experience with the means to change our direction toward true happiness. So, as I mentioned before, we are today a collective, a whole package of our many lives from the past, 1,000 lives, who knows how many. So we are a collective connection of all those lives with the good and the bad. We are not little angels. We did a lot of bad things, but every time we evolve, we get a little bit better, a little bit better. So we are this package. We are this connection of all our past experiences. So by helping someone else, we are emanating suggestions of help to us. That's when I always say, when we do charity, we think we are helping them. Oh, I am helping whatever. If it's the nursing home, the kids, or loving bags, or whatever, we think, oh, I'm helping them. No. We are being much more helped. We are, yes, maybe we are providing some kind of material thing to somebody, but the love we are receiving back is so big. If people could see, they're all going to be doing charity because we are receiving love back, maybe not from the person we are helping, maybe not from them because they can't even do anything. Maybe they can't understand, but from other people, from other spirits that are seeing. They are seeing what we are doing. And that's why it's really important if we are doing from our hearts. Because if we are just doing physically to people see, this is not the spirits. They see everything. They read through. So we are like a open book. They can, oh, this is just a show off thing. It's not natural. So it's different. But when we are really doing from our hearts, we attract all this good, and we receive so much good. So by humbly enduring the difficulties of our regenerating path, we instill patience and solidarity towards everyone around us. And it's true, sometimes our lives are very difficult. But when we start doing charity, we see that other people have lives that are so much more difficult than us. And a lot of them are still super happy. And sometimes you're like, oh my God, that person is going through this and is so happy. Why I have everything and I complain all the time? Oh, I complain about the weather. I complain I gain weight. I complain. Yes, we love to complain. But we should do the contrary. We should be thankful all the time. And then we will be vibrating at this love, and we will be receiving the love we need.
Thank you, Angela.
So thank you guys. So now we're gonna switch books. We are gonna go to the gospel. Let me switch here too. So our beautiful gospel, according to Spiritism, that Allan Kardec codified. He did not write the book. He codified. The spirits wrote the book, and he just put the ideas together.
Where do
You don't have the gospel on Facebook, right? You just did the.
Yes, it's on Miami InnerLight.
Yeah.
I put it in pictures. You can go in pictures,
Oh,
and you're gonna see gospel, and we are gonna be reading tonight, page 27. So we are reading the introduction. So Jackie, are you familiar with Spiritism?
I'm learning. I'm getting there. I'm a little bits and pieces by Sister
Yes.
Teresa, and always
Yes.
helping me.
Yes. No, Teresa, she is awesome, and she's with us along. She's your good teacher.
So
She is.
I've been trying to get a couple books and trying to read, and she's been helping me, suggesting different books.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, books are awesome. That's the best way of learning. So for you, it might be a little confusing, but don't worry, you will get it. So this book was channeled by the mediums, and this man, Kardec, he is the one who took all these messages and he put together, and he separated it by subjects. And we are reading the introduction of the book, where he explains why he did, what he did, when he did. So it's important for us to understand the introduction to go deep in the book. So in this part of the introduction, we are reading number 2, that talks about the authority of the Spiritist doctrine, universal test of the Spirit's teaching. So here, in the previous meetings, we already understood that the Spiritism got so powerful and so well known because it was not one person who started talking about this, but they were thousands of spirits in many, many different countries. And then Kardec start like sending questions to certain mediums he already knew very well, and he knew they were very serious people, and they are not going to be playing with mediumship, because mediumship is this connection that incarnated people have with the spiritual world, and they can understand it better. So he knew some people that could do this well, so he starts sending to those people important questions, and then these mediums start sending back through the spirits sending back. And then he got famous with this, and he got like hundreds of answers to his questions. So he analyzed all the answers and he picked the very similar ones and he put together and he put in a book. So that's how he's explaining all this process, how it happened. So we stopped on page 27. Moreover, so I'm going to share the screen here. So here, second paragraph. Moreover, the teachings given by the spirits on as yet unclarified points of the doctrine would not be law as long as such teachings remain isolated. They must not, therefore, be accepted except with all reserve and for information purpose. So in this paragraph, he's actually explaining that just because it is in the book, it's not a law. It's not that everyone should accept, but we should really try to understand and try to say, why is this? Is this true? Is not? So Kardec, he was so serious in his work, in his research, that he actually read lots of books that were against the Spiritism, so he could understand what people that do not believe, why they do not believe. So he wanted the people to understand, just saying, oh, I don't believe because it doesn't exist. I don't believe because I can't see it. This is not a way to say something is false just because you can't see it. Yes, a lot of people don't see spirits. They never ever saw in their lives. But it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We can see microbes with our eyes. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. We can see billions of stars in the universe with our eyes. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So that's the same precept that he used. So he tells people, question yourself to try to understand. And then he continues. Hence the need for the greatest prudence in their publication, and in the case in which it is deemed necessary to publish them, it would be important not to present them except as more or less probable individual opinions, but having in all cases the need for confirmation. It is this confirmation that must be obtained before a principle is presented as absolute truth, unless one wants to be accused of frivolousness or thoughtless credulity. So this is also the same thing that he is mentioning. To publish a book, it's very important to research. Everything in science is like that. They research to be able to see if that really is true, and they test, and that's how everything should be done to say if this is more or less the truth, and that's what he recommends. Highly evolved spirits proceed with extreme wisdom in their revelations. They do not address the great issues of the doctrine except gradually to the degree that our intelligence is capable of comprehending truths of a higher order, and when circumstances are propitious for the release of a new idea. That is why that at the beginning they did not say everything, and why they still have not said everything today, nor have they given into the impatience of hasty individuals who would like to harvest the fruit before it is ripe. Thus, it would be futile for them to rush the time assigned to each thing by providence. Oh, I have to switch the page. Why it doesn't want to switch? Let's see if the other page
You
is.
know, on Facebook, you ended on that page. There's nothing else after
Oh,
that page.
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure if maybe you have it here.
well, so, oh, yes, I end up not putting there. So I'm gonna just read the other page because I didn't take a picture. So it continues. Because them truly serious spirits would positively, let me just stop this. I have to remember to put on Facebook again. Because then truly serious spirits would positively refuse to offer their assistance. However, frivolous spirits concern themselves little with the truth and respond to anything. It is for this reason that on the issue of premature questions, there are always contradictory answers. So Kardec is explaining that very serious spirits, high level spirits, they don't come first. They don't come to answer futile things like, oh, am I gonna get married? And I'm gonna be rich? And I'm gonna pass the test? The serious spirits, they don't come. They didn't come in the time of Kardec and they don't come now. Serious spirits, they come when something is serious, when the work is serious, when the person is doing really important things. And he is mentioning like people that want to know things of the future, but like he mentions here, futile things. Like, is the world gonna end in like the people were thinking in 2000? It was 2012. The world is gonna end. Serious spirits, they don't answer these things. They are extremely careful how they're gonna answer certain questions because if it is misunderstood and if it is published, whenever something is published, is forever. It will be there. So they are very careful how do they handle that. So Kardec was already explaining, because in that time, in the 1800s, the phenomena of the turning table, the dancing table, the tables that people got together to talk to the spirits, like the game Ogiva, I think, or the
Ouija.
Ouija, the Ouija board. Yes, anybody can get a Ouija board, and there will be spirits answering things there. But it doesn't mean that they're serious spirits. And because they are not serious, they can care less what they're going to answer. They play with people. They will say whatever to make fun of the people. And depending on the level of the spirit, it can kind of bring like some kind of low level energy that can actually frighten the people who are playing with this. That's why we have to be always very careful when contacting spirits. And in the past, we always explain that Kardec had this mission that he had to do it to be able to help us. And he was connected with very good spirits that brought light. But nowadays, even in Spiritism, we don't need to connect with spirits to take our daily life decisions. We have a free will, and we have to exercise our free will. The best way to exercise our free will is always thinking of the other. I will do this to person B. Would I like this to happen to me? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer, no, to me, no. No way. So don't do it. Because if it's not good for you, it's not good for the other. And of course, always praying. Because when we are praying, we receive help. We receive positive inspiration. So that's the way we connect with the spirits. We connect with our guardian angel. but not in really in the sense of a spiritist center. That's a total different job. It's in a spiritist center. It's done to do that. And they always get together. The mediums study a lot to know what they are doing, and is always helping suffering spirits. They don't get together in a mediumship meeting to ask, what's going to happen tomorrow? But they ask, how can we help you? Because spirits are suffering. Just because they die, don't mean that they know everything and they went straight to heaven like people imagine. So this was a very, very important. Let me just read these other two paragraphs. The above stated principles are not the result of any personal theory, but are the unavoidable consequences of the conditions in which spirits manifest themselves. It is obvious that if one spirit says one thing somewhere, while millions of spirits say the opposite everywhere else, the presumption of the truth cannot lie with one who is alone or nearly alone in its opinion. Hence, to claim to be right against all others would be as illogical on the part of one spirit as it would be on the part of one human. Truly wise spirits, if they do not feel sufficiently knowledgeable about an issue, never resolve it in an absolute manner. They state that they are addressing it only from their own point of view, and that they themselves advise waiting for its confirmation. So, in this part here, Kardec is saying, if millions of spirits, through messages, are saying A, and 1, 2, 3, 10 spirits are saying B, we have to believe in the millions who are saying A, because the probability of a truth lays with them. Exactly like in a classroom. If you ask a question from 50 people, 45 say A and 5 say B, the probability of the answer being A is bigger than B. So the same thing in the spiritual realm. Why he's saying that? In that time, and nowadays, people think if a spirit said something, that's the truth. That's the total truth. And then they transfer to a medium. If the medium said something, that's the truth. No, it's not. It's not with both. Mediums are people. People are influenced by good spirits and not good spirits. It depends of what type of medium is that. Lots of levels here. We know some mediums that are really amazing, and they really do amazing works too. And we know people that just have like a little bit more, a stronger sensibility. So we have to be very careful. It's not because a medium is saying something, it's a truth. And it's not because, maybe the medium is just repeating what the spirit is saying. He's really transferring the whatever he's saying. But the spirit is just a spirit. Which spirit is that? Is a Mother Teresa of Calcutta, or is a Rosanna Souza who just died? So it's different. We have to be careful in believing messages just because they're from spirits or just because they're from mediums. So this is very important to understand. And then he says, however great, beautiful, or just an idea may be, it is impossible for it to unite all opinions at the start. The conflicts that result from it are the unavoidable consequence of the movement that is taking place. He was talking about Spiritism starting, and many conflicting messages coming from everywhere. Conflicts are even necessary to enable the truth to stand out more, and it is useful for them to occur at the beginning so that any erroneous ideas may be more quickly flushed out. Spiritists who harbor any fear in this regard should therefore be perfectly reassured. All isolated claims will fall due to the force of things before the great and powerful criterion of the universal test. So that's the same thing. Sometimes we want to do, that's just a different example. We want to do something in a group. And, we had this bright idea that's going to be wonderful, it's going to be great. And this group of 10 people, they immediately start like, oh, no, I don't think it's good. No, this is good because of this, because of that. And then it brings a lot of disharmony. So it can be frustrating to the person who brought the idea, thinking it was going to be so good. Two things. Or it's not a good idea, and the whole group it's not in harmony with that. They are all feeling that's not a good idea, and the spirits are influencing for this not to happen, or the group is in disharmony, and it's not going to happen because maybe that's not if this is a good idea, maybe that's not the proper time for that to happen. But whenever we want something and it doesn't happen, don't worry. It was not the proper time, or it was not the best idea. And the same thing with Spiritism in that time. He is mentioning that this difficulty from connecting the answers that were similar, because sometimes there were many different answers for certain questions, as we will see one day in the Spirit's book. When we read the answers, direct answers from the spirits. If the answers were really conflicting, he usually put it aside to give some time and to analyze it later. And many times, later on, came answers that helped him to connect and to understand, no, this is really not good. So when we bring to our lives, our daily lives, sometimes we get so upset with conflict, with problems, with difficulties that arise. But later on, when the problem passes or calms down, we realize that conflict was good, because that conflict helped us to see things that we couldn't, to understand things that we couldn't understand in that time. And this is why sometimes the enemies or the people that don't like us, they tell us truths that are painful. We're like, this person really hates me and tells me things like that. And yes, these people, they have no, how can I say, division. Filter, yes, good. They have no filter. Our friends, sometimes because they really like us and they feel like they don't want to hurt us, or if I tell this to Angie, she's going to get upset. So many times they don't tell us anything. They just like, I don't want to talk about that because she's not going to like. But our enemies, forget about, are you crazy? You're going to do that? This is not good. So, it can be painful, but sometimes we need that. So this filter from our friends that are not our friends, our enemies. I don't like to say enemies. It's a very tough word, but like the people who don't really like us for whatever reason, sometimes it's good for us. It can be painful at that moment, but if we have the strong will to really understand what was said, it sometimes when we deeply analyze that, it's like, ooh, and I'm hurt because of my ego, and I'm hurt because I truly believe, and I hurt because that person said why, and then we analyzing that, and we come a light, and we like, yes, I understand what it is now, and now I feel better. So Kardec was a very, very wise man, and even creating a book to help us, he was able to create in a, almost like in a scientific way, helping everyone to understand why he did like this and why he didn't do like that. So, you know, I'm a fan, and this was done in the 1800s. That's the most amazing thing. Without all the technology, without Google.
Yeah, unbelievable.
How can we live without Google? Without GPS? Oh my God. So, guys, it was great as usual. Welcome, Jackies, two Jackies. And I'm not seeing Facebook, but if there is anybody on Facebook, thank you so much for being with us. It's always a pleasure. We are always learning together. And we will have another meeting in 2 weeks on a Thursday, 9 o'clock again, studying thought and life. And this time we'll be studying the lesson, let me see, number 10, understanding. Another tough one, understanding.
Understanding.
So let's relax. And now let's mentalize our medicine. And let's do our final prayer. So we are going to sleep with the angels tonight.
Amen.
Dear brother Jesus, all the good spirits that are us are here with us in our homes, listening to our conversation, helping us to understand, helping us to think, helping us to connect all these ideas. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you so much for our lives, for our health, for our bodies. Thank you so much for the technology that helps us to connect with so many people in different states in this beautiful country of the United States. Thank you so much for the power of our voices so we can say positive words, for our hearing so we can hear it. And please, Master Jesus, help us to be better people on a daily basis. If we can't help with any kind of material possessions, if we can help with our loving energy, or just with our smile on a daily basis to all the unknown people that we meet. Thank you for our meeting tonight. Please bless all our friends and help all of us to be able to get together again in 2 weeks and continue our studies. Thank you so much. So be it.
So be it.
Thank you, guys. It was awesome. And we didn't have many technological problems this time. Wow. Awesome. Very, very good. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Happy, happy, happy 2018. See you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, Teresa.
Goodbye, Angie.